Welcome to Level Up with CMJ. Hey, my name is Joe, and this is my Craftsmaster Dice Shooting Journey. Let's make it yours too. We're going to continue on with the blue belt today, but first we're going to jump over to see the results of the second round of the shooting competition. This is the international shooter competition that's going on, and the top 16 move on to the next round. So we're looking at the results, and yours truly comes in at 5th place. But we have Mudslide Mac with a 33 as his longest roll. He had an average of 21. Magic Aces Larry's at 30. Lightning Shooter at 27. G-Dub from Texas at 27. Myself at 20. And then we go Kevin Midnight Turtles, 19. Bird Dog, 18. Hazel from Hawaii is at 16. Uncle Hoko is at 15. Chucky Dice, Toothpick Ted at 14 apiece. Alfredo came in at 13. Sam I Am at 12. Same Bet David is at 11. And then Roy from HCS, which is Hawaii Craft Shooters, and Ian Olson from Seattle both came in at 9. Good morning, Chris. So that's the top 16 people there, guys, that are going to be moving on to the next round. They should be starting any day now in the 3rd round of the International Shooter Tournament. And we're going to be narrowing it down to 8 people. The rules for the 3rd round are going to be the same as what they were for the 2nd round. So you're going to get 2 shooters worth, and they're going to take the top score, the top 8 people, the top score. We'll move on to the 3rd round. But the difference now is going to be that they're going to be taking an average. They're going to consider your average. So if you have 1 short row and 1 long row, that might be enough to get you into the next round, but that's going to affect your placing in the tournament. And what I mean by that is the top 8 people are going to be placed where the top shooter with the best average is going to go up against the lowest shooter with the lowest average. And that'll be 1 against 8. And then they'll take 2 against 6, 3 against 5, and then actually 2 goes against 7, 3 goes against 6, 4 goes against 5. So that's how they're going to kind of do that right there. But anyhow, hey guys, let's get going. We'll get started with our 100 rolls here. And are pretty close to 100 rolls. We have 2,300 rolls logged already for the blue belt level. By the end of the week here, we'll have at least 2,500 to 2,700 rolls on our way to 5,000. So we're just about halfway there, guys. And we're going to start off today with a 2-3-5, no field 5. And we're going to get started with the first shooter here, and then we're going to start talking about some of the videos from the last few days. Something that by the way, I wanted to apologize for not going live yesterday. I got home from work, and I was up for 27 hours. And I was so tired, I felt like I was drunk. So I decided not to go live yesterday morning, and I actually opted for going to bed instead, which is probably the better choice. And we have a 1-6-7. So we have a 0.7 out in the first row. That is the bad 7. Both dice went off axis on that one. Morning, Bam. So short first row. Look for a new point here, guys. Did a little bit of a warm-up this morning. 1-5 mixer. 6 came easy. That'll be our first point, our next point. Did a little bit of a warm-up this morning. To be completely honest, the shooting has not gone well this morning so far. So we'll see if we can turn it around. I'm happy that today is not my 3rd round of shooting. And we have a 5-4 center field 9. Both dice on axis, single pitch. And that left eye took off on us, but we have midnight. 6-6-12. Which I'm not happy with that result, but we will take that and put that towards the ATS to make that ETS a little bit more attainable, hopefully. Left eye spun out a little bit odd, but we have a 5-6 mid-low yo, another hard number to hit for the ATS. And that's an off axis on that right die. And they both bounced way off that back wall. We have a 6-3 center field 9 again. So that's our second 9 today for this shooter. Dice hit and they crossed when they hit. We have a 5-6 mid-low yo. Looks like it's going to be a high number day today. So all the high numbers are hitting. Now we went off into the mixing bowl a little bit, back on that 9, 3-6-9. And all we need to do is hit that 8 and 10. We'll be all set for the ATS, for the tall at least. And we have a 2-3-5, no field 5. A little bit long to hit right at the bottom of the wall, and we got a 3-4, and that is a 7 out. Double pitch. So that one was a little bit longer. We had a 9 on that roll. So we had a 2 and a 9 so far. So let's see if we can keep them going upward in that direction. So videos in the last couple of days that were worthy of watching. And 1-6-7 come out 7. Pass line winner. Take the don'ts. Let me get a point established here. We'll talk about some of the videos that were out, or live streams, if you will. And that one, they came out really weird again. That left one slipped out of my finger, but we have a 2-2 hard 4, so our new point will be 4. So last night there was 2 videos that came out that I watched in its entirety, at least most of its entirety, and one of them took 6 hours to watch. Alfredo did his talking craps with Alfredo last night, and I know he's been trying to limit it to 1 to 2 hours. 617. 7 out. I know he's been trying to limit it to an hour or two each session. But last night he went 6 hours long. It was just a marathon. But he had some awesome guests last night. He started off with talking about the shooting competition, and then going through his rollout from last night with his craps, you know. And then Arnell decided to join in, and they went through a couple different conversations. And then 617 come out 7. Then Justice Jen came in, and that was a really good conversation because Jen has lots of questions for a lot of the YouTubers here on how they bet and they're at the craps table, the strategies that they use, how much they bring to the table, you know, all that type of stuff, things to do etiquette wise, all that type of stuff. So they had some pretty decent conversations regarding those things. 369, Centerfield 9, New Point is 9. And then they also had Vince Armenti joined in, and then Waylon jumped in for a very long time. He was on there for several hours. And Chiro also jumped in. So really good conversations. Vince went through his new crap strategy, and if you haven't checked it out, it's interesting. It's a strategy that 426, 6 came easy. It's a strategy that'll use a little bit of a bankroll in order to do it. And it has some very big up and down swings. But relatively decent strategy if you have the patience to play it through. And we have a 6-4-10, Waylon's best friend on the end, Papa Joe. And Cheryl jumped on. He was talking about his competition that's coming up. Should be starting pretty soon here, I think. And that would be a tournament that he's having, kind of a pseudo tournament on Crapsy. It's going to be a 3-session tournament. And you have to participate in all 3 of them. Back on that 10, 4-6-10, Waylon's best friend on the end, Papa Joe. And you got to attend all 3 of the sessions at Crapsy. And then that next Saturday, he's going to go through and he's going to pick the top 4 winning people for those 3 sessions. And they're going to be competing for one of his chips that he altered. And by altered, I mean he has a 1, 5, 25, and $100 chip. And each chip he placed a precious gem into it. 6-5 in Moyo. We're talking about them, so we'll roll it. And for example, the black chip, the $100 chip, has 3 small diamonds in it. The red chip has 3 little rubies in it. And I think he has an amethyst. I forget how he says that. And I forget what the 4th stone is. So each one of them has a different stone in it. You're going to be competing. That one went into the mixing bowl, but we have a 4-4 heart 8 square pair. But it's competition that's going to be for those chips. Very valuable chips. Very cool. Chris from Dice Degen should be starting his tournament here pretty soon. I think he started his tapings. I'm not quite sure on that one. Some milestones that are coming up. We have Holy Roller, if you haven't checked out his YouTube channel yet. Talks about craps and strategy net, but he takes a different perspective on it. 4-4 heart 8. And the perspective that he takes on craps is he takes the perspective of cruising in craps. So he talks about different strategies that you can use on the craps table on cruise ships and how you can start earning comps on cruise ships in order to get free cruises. And by free, basically all you're doing is you're paying for the port fees and the taxes, but the actual room and the food and all that type of stuff is comped. So it's something, if you're interested in doing cruises, which I would highly recommend, 639 Centerfield 9. I went on a cruise last year, something that I did not think I would enjoy, but it was by far the best vacation I've ever had in my entire life. So, something definitely check out if you are interested in that type of stuff. I know that Chris Degen is approaching that 1,000 subscriber mark. So if you have not subscribed to his channel yet, please get out there and subscribe to it. 145. Chris is an awesome contributor to the craps community. He runs a ton of different strategies, a lot of really cool ideas on a lot of the videos that he runs as well. And we have a 369, center field 9. Hitting those pretty good there. The other video I wanted to kind of mention that happened last night, and this is about a 2-hour video. So I did a lot of background listening last night between Alfredo and the Casino Quest one, which I believe it was, they're going through the CEG YouTube channel for this video, which is their dealer school. And 6/6 midnight. And basically the video that they had played last night was the third in the series that they're doing right now, which is basically talking about, there's the tall guys. We hit the tall, which is basically talking about their start, where David's life has brought him, how they started Casino Quest, how they started the CG dealer school, and their progression so far, going from basically broke and down, and then get hit by COVID and all that stuff, and then ended up to the point where they're almost making $2 million this year. That's their projected earnings, at least. So it's a basic story. I mean, it's an awesome story. 358. 8 came easy. So it's basically an awesome story about how people start down and out, how they can actually, with hard work and persistence, can actually make it in whatever endeavor they choose. So it's a great success story. I would highly recommend the series that they're filming. I'm not sure if they're going to do one more to the series or if that was the end of the series. I'm not really exactly sure on that. But I think this series was very well received by them. 268. Right dice is off axis. So we got a short first roll, a medium second roll, a short third roll, and this is the fourth shooter here, and we're starting to have a decent roll on this. Let's see if we can keep it going. A little bit long again on that one. We lucked out. We have a 415, no field 5. And what do we need? We need 2, 3, and 4. So we need quite a few numbers for that small. And midnight once again. That's been hitting quite a bit today. Seems like you've either hit midnights or aces. They're not both. It seems like it's one or the other as far as with that stuff. That's a repeater win. And I think when we get the purple balls, one of the things we could see is which ones we're hitting and maybe flip those dice around. So we can actually hit the other one if we need to. 2, 2 hard, 4. 4 came hard. So we need the 2 and the 3 were golden. Another hard four, 2-2 hard four. Talk about pockets of numbers. One of the things Alfredo mentioned last night too, and I want to kind of address it was, and he's brought this up to me several times in the past about if you're shooting on video and you say you're going to get 50 rolls or 100 rolls or 150 or 200 or whatever number, it doesn't matter. And you want to try to do that consistently. But if you're having a bad day, 4-2-6, he suggests us to shut it down early, so that way, you don't bring these negative vibes over to the next session. Or if you're doing really good and you get close to that 90 or close to that 100, to shut it down early, which I have been doing a little bit lately, but I know mentally, long term, it doesn't really affect me if I'm having a good day or a bad day. I try to stay consistent. 3-4-7. And that's a 7 out. I try to stay consistent throughout. I try not to let the highs and lows affect me too much. Although it is kind of exciting when you do get that stuff. Good morning, Helpline. So that was a sharpshooter paying 6-1 on that last shooter. And we're going on to shooter number 5 or 6, I think. So that last one was a decent roll. Hit the tall on that one. Hit a couple of repeater bets, a couple sharpshooters. And 6-4-10, Waylon's best friend on the end, Papa Joe. So that'll be our new point, 10. And that's a number I don't hit often, but today we're hitting it quite a bit. But it was interesting listening to Alfredo and Arnell and Jen talk about betting in that. Um, and that's something I'm very curious about. Like I said, I've mentioned it many times in the past. 5-5 hard 10, so we're back on a 10. Point made. So set the point and make the point. So that's a perfect situation. Coming out again. But setting up a betting system, if you will, rather than a strategy, and a shooter-based system. So how can we place our bets? How can we press them? How can we regress them? And we have a 5-1 mixer, our new point is 6. And how can we do all that on a shooter perspective? So in other words, how can we, that was incredible help on, wasn't it, last night? 6 hours. How can we adjust our bets according to what the shooters are doing? For example, for myself, should be easier because I have the bone tracker results. I can go back and see what my signature numbers are, which numbers are stronger for me. And also with the shooting on a daily consistent basis here, 2, 6, 8, 8 easy. It's easy for me to start picking up on repeat numbers, numbers that are strong for me. So that way, for betting on myself should be a little bit easier. But how can we bet on the other shooters? How can we identify trends easier? And Alfredo has a ton of experience, so I'm going to pick his brain on that, to see some of the things that he does. And I want to try to put together a system, if you will, 6-8 again, on how to bet appropriately and to take advantage of the rolls as they come. And we have a 1-4-5, no field 5. One of the other things I was working on the last few days is that throwing station, that deluxe throwing station that I want to build, and which I will be raising money for, hopefully, to build it. And then it will be used as a donation, or it will be given as a donation to the Crafts for Cure, should I get it done before the November show. 325. And I'm actually really excited about that build because I came up with some really cool ideas for it. And the one idea that I have for the table is that I want to build it, and I already came up with a plan on how to do it already. The other day it was just in concept, but I actually figured out a way to do it logistic or engineering wise, is to make it so it actually flips. And we have 2 hard 4. And what I mean by flips is it's going to have 2 sides to it, a top and a bottom. The bottom is going to be an actual tabletop. So it's going to be something that you can use as a kitchen table, as a dining room table, as a table to do your homework on, or whatever you want to use it for, crafts or whatever. It's going to be a really nice looking table. The other side of it's going to be the actual crafts receiving station. And then I have it set now where with very minimal effort, 4, 6, 10, with very minimal effort, you'll be able to flip that or rotate it around so it actually spins, and you can choose sides on whatever side you want to use at the time. Um, I could make one up on that was more portable that you could take with you. That should be no problem. But the goal with this one was to make something that's designer, something that's gonna be really super nice. It doesn't take up a ton of room, and that you can use when you need to. But you can also hide it if you need to without having to move it from its location. 1.5 mixer. So that was the goal of this one. Plus, I call this a deluxe table. So that way, it's going to be a little bit more of a premium type thing. And once I get all the plans together, I'm going to figure out how much it'll cost to build. And then what I want to do is I want to have some live streams or some kind of event going on. Then I can actually solicit, if you will, 5, 4, center field 9. I can actually solicit people to help raise funds to build the table. Again, I want to try to do this as economical for myself, but I want to, rather than profit from it, I want to use those proceeds to put towards the table and then to make it and then give it away for free. And we have a 628, easy 8. And actually, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be videotaping the building process. So that way, I will release the videos. So it's going to be a kind of a multifaceted thing. I'll release the videos so everybody can see how I made it. And if they want to make one themselves, they can. Sort of like what I did with my table build here. We have a 639 centerfield 9. Sort of like with my table build videos, I want to do something very similar to that. And then I'll probably turn that into an ebook as well. So uh, get excited about it. Again, it's just going to come down right now to time and money before I get the build started. And I probably am going to build it before I release the videos. And that's what I did different. Here we go. We are 1, 6, 7, and that is a come out 7. That's awesome. So that extends our roll. It does reset that ATS, but we were not too spread out on that anyhow. So those will come out pass line wins. We're on roll number 15 here. The other thing that I want to do with that is the throwing station. So I was just talking about the receiving station and what I want to do, but the throwing station, I want to have it, and this is kind of a cool concept also, so it telescopes. And I've kind of figured that out. 5, 5, hard 10. New point is 10. And I kind of figured out how to do that, but I'm not exactly 100% sure now. And what I mean by telescopes is that it actually shrinks down and it'll be able to fit inside the receiving station when it's in its storage state. And then when you use it, you take it out and you hit a lever or push a lever or pull a lever. Or I have the idea down, not exactly, but almost. And it actually telescopes up into position. And that's our first 134 Big Joe from Craftsmaster Journey. So it actually telescopes up into position, up into the proper height. And then that throwing station, good morning, Alfredo. That throwing station will then hopefully have a drawer or something where you can store your chips, your dice, and all that type of stuff. So everything's all self-contained and in one place. Another 314 Big Joe from Craftsmaster Journey. So we haven't hit those much, and then we just hit 2 of them in a row. So we'll talk about pockets of numbers. And we have a 1, 2, 3 shocker Alfredo sauce. Ace Deuce Alfredo sauce is what they call it now. Alfredo never sleeps, I don't think. And if he does, it's very limited. That was a hell of a show last night, Alfredo. I watched most of the 6 hours. I watched the first 3 hours, and then I had to bow out for a while because I was at work. I was listening to it in the background. And then you saw when I picked back up again, 257. That is a 7 out on that one. Double pitch of the dice. And that was a 19 roller. So we've had some decent rolls today, some short rolls today so far, a little bit of both. Come on, dice, cooperate with me here. Okay, there we go. And that one bounced all over, but we have a 1-5 mixer. So our new point will be, we had another sharpshooter in that last one again, a 6-1 payout. So we've been getting a lot of sharpshooters and we've been getting a lot of repeater bet winnings today. Too bad I don't have those bets available to me where I normally go to my casino. The only side bets that they really have is at ATS. And we have a 6-6-12 midnight. It's a lot of those today. But yeah, the shooting competition was pretty cool. Good morning, Bam, or SJ. Shooting competition was the last 3 shooters were fun to watch. Hazel from Hawaii Crap Shooters, that's Mrs. Money Shot to everybody else. She rolled really well. And she's the last female surviving in the competition. And Chef Dice, I think he rolled, there we go, we got magic aces. So we had the 12s and then we have the aces. Chef Dice, I think he came in at 7 rolls as his big roll. I think he had a 7 out of 5. So he, I think, was not happy with the results, but they are what they are. Again, you know, everybody's talking about the stress levels that are involved with the shooting competition. We throw every single day, and then when you turn the camera on for the competition, about how the stress levels come up in that. And I haven't really experienced that too much yet, 358. But I think the further along we go into competition, I think the more stress is going to be. Because like Fred always says, you only have 2 shooters worth on this round and the last round. But then I think the actual stress is going to come out when they actually start scoring your rolls. In other words, they're going to start giving you points based on the quality of your throws. And I think that's going to be right where it's going to separate people big time. 6 for 10 Waylon's best friend on the end, Papa Joe. And I think that's really where they're going to start really separating the quality of the shooters is once they start scoring, and different rolls will be worth different points. And I'm not exactly entirely sure how they're going to do that. I am very curious to see. And we have a 134 Big Joe from Craps Master Journey once again. And we're on roll number 60 right now, coming up. So we're over halfway done today. By the time we're done, we'll have 2,400 throws in for the blue belt. That leaves us 2,600 more left. Another 4,314 Big Joe. So 4s are a hot number today. And that was my signature number quite a bit for quite a long time. And I kind of got away from that today, but we've hit them 8 times already. And it's been a mixture of both the hard 4 and the 3-1. But we recently been doing a lot of 3-1s. So Waylon will love those results. And 639, center field 9. It's an off axis on that left eye. I think all we could do is hit the mid-mo yo. We got the tall again, I think, if we could hit that. We already hit the tall once today. And the small, we've not come close at all. We've been throwing a lot of higher numbers today, though. And we have a 459 center field 9. I thought that was a mid-mo yo. That would have been nice. But it was not. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Alfredo's mini marathon last night, guys, check it out. And it was fun because the further they went into it, I think the more slap happy they got. 549 again. Mr. Vince Armenti was on there, and they were giving him the berries big time last night. He's hilarious. He really is. He even had Waylon going quite a bit last night. You couldn't tell who was laughing harder. It was good. Vince was definitely in rare form last night. And 213 shocker. Alfredo sauce. Excuse me. And we got to get that 5 and the 11. We're good to go, guys. Let's see if we can hit that tall and the small today and make them all. We did that a couple sessions ago. We made the all tall small. And we have a 3, 5, 8. 8 came easy. And that's been kind of the latest craze the last I'd say a week or so, has been talking about the hardway bets and how to properly bet them. And Ed's been talking a little bit about it. Quite a few people. And I remember when I first started learning about craps. And we have a 5-5 hard 10. When I first started learning about craps, Jacob from Wager Me Disc put out a video on betting the hard ways, and it was a really good video. And it's essentially kind of about what some of the people are talking about today, about making your bet levels appropriate on the box numbers, and using the profits from those hits to, if it becomes easy, to replace the hard way bets. Whoa, terrible throw. The right die hit and then bounced right off to the side here, but it came out as a 2, so we have a 2-3-5. And I think that's the small right now. 3-2-5. That is the small. So we can get that 11 on this next roll. That would be a freaking awesome, awesome roll. But what Ed is doing is he's talking about parlaying his hard ways. So he uses the winnings from his numbers, from his place bets or his box number bets, and then also in combination with his hard ways. And we're close. Darn it. We got a 5-5-10, hard 10. And using those two together to help start pressing up those hard ways or replacing the hard ways if needed. And he just did a video the other day. It was called his shot of the day video. It was a little bit longer of a video compared to the rest of his shot of the day videos, but it was really, really good, really informative, and he really goes into detail how he presses those hard ways up. And we have a 3-6-9. Definitely a number that you want to be betting on this shooter. And a 2-3-5, note field 5. Just cannot get that damn mid-bow Yoda right now. We hit a bunch of them in the beginning. It's a single pitch. Talking about Vince, I'm assuming on there, guys. He is definitely a character. Waylon had one of the best one-liners last night. If you've not seen the video, you need to watch it, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It came towards the end of the video. 6-3-9, center field 9. And it just that one-liner that he did was worth watching the entire 6 hours. That's a repeater. Definitely worth watching the entire 6 hours to hear that one-liner. And for those of you guys who have seen it or heard it, make sure you throw a comment in the chat here, and kind of support that thought. And 6-4-10. Come on, guys, let's get that mid-mo-yo. Usually when I talk about it, it comes out. But we are definitely hitting some major repeaters here, guys. Major repeaters on this shooter. Be making bank on this one. Damn it. 6-3-9. Center field 9. We're pounding those 9s today, I'll tell you that. That one felt very weird coming out. We lucked out. We have a 3-5-8, easy 8. Roll number 22 coming up. That one veered off a little bit to the damn right. And that is a 6-1-7 out. So we're one number away from hitting ATS, one number away from that hitting that tall. But hey, guys, that was a good shot. That was a 22 roller. Got 25 more left for the day. I was not rolling well before I went live, so good thing I got out of my system. I had a couple of short ones in the beginning, if you guys started right up in the beginning. Also, if you're just joining in the beginning of this live stream today, I posted the final results for the second round of the shooting competition. So that's the first thing I did today, so check that out as well. And we have a 3-5-8, so our new point will be 8. Good morning, CRC. Heaven's fault. I don't understand that one. John announced yesterday and the day before, I believe, that next week he will be out of town. He's going to be on the East Coast. We got an ace deuce Alfredo sauce. He'll be on the East Coast, so he's not sure exactly what he's going to be doing for his videos next week. It sounds like he might be maybe pre-taping his coffee and craps, and then he might be foregoing the daily paycheck. I'm not exactly sure what he's going to do, but we probably won't know till next week. So that's kind of a heads up announcement on that. Left one hit and stopped. But we got a 4-6-10. Shooter hit the back wall. Fredo was telling a story last night, and I've heard the story before about how he got the roll taken away from him for the first time that he didn't hit the wall. He said he was like on a 30 roller at the time. And he didn't hit the wall, and they took the dice away from him. We got a 2-5-7. And that's a 7 out. Good morning, Brian. Congratulations to Mrs. Money Shot on her successful roll. Please pass that on to her. And you have got, I think, 3 people in the top 16 from your crew, if I remember correctly. And we have a come out 7. So we've not had a lot of 7s today. Now they're starting to show a little bit again. But that's a double pitch. And that is a pass line winner, come out winner. So we'll check our finger positioning on the dice, see if that's the reason for that double pitch. And we have a 6-4-10, Waylon's best friend on the end, Papa Joe, once again. So our new point is 10, and we have 19 rolls left approximately. And again, for those of you who are just joining in, I apologize for not going live yesterday morning. I was up for like 27 hours when I got home from work yesterday, and I was out of it big time. In fact, I almost fell asleep standing up. 6-1-7. So I chose to go to bed instead of jumping online. So we have an SOR right now at the current moment of a 10.3 of an SRR at a 6.8. So those are all decent numbers. They're starting to come down a little bit now that these sevens are starting to show. And I know that Alfredo says that this is a time to start jumping out, but I'm going to finish this up here, guys. I will not let it affect me. Now veered off to the right once again, but we have a 2, 3, 5. Our new point is 5. No field 5. Thank you, CRC. It doesn't happen too often, and I've been trying to go live every Monday through Friday specifically for this blue belt level, and then when appropriate, when I can, I'll go live in the mornings on the weekend as well. We got an ace deuce Alfredo sauce, craps 3. So we have a point of 5. And another 2, 5, 7. So double pitching now all of a sudden. Something that I really haven't done much throughout the first 85 rolls here. So let's see if we can figure out what's going on with that. And if I have to venture to guess, I think it's finger positioning. And if I really have to guess, I think it's my thumb is not getting on the tip enough. That is one of the common side effects or problems for double pitch is that your finger positioning is actually too deep. And we got a 3-3 hard 6. So paid attention to that thumb position and the finger position on the dice, and that is the result, which is a on-axis primary hit both ways. And we have not thrown a lot of hard ways today. I think 2 days ago when we were throwing, we threw a ton, just a ton of hard ways. Brian and his crew would have been loving it. As they say, any pair, I don't care. That was a little bit low. I would like to bring up the trajectory a little bit. 3, 5, 8. 8 came easy. Dice split apart a little bit, and I should have reset them before I did, but we got 4, 3, 7, double pitch. And I should have known better before I threw the darn things because they did split apart with my fingers. And that is usually the result, either that or the 5-2 when they split apart on me like that. We got 12 more rolls here left, approximately. So let's see if we can finish them all with one shooter and then some. And 4, 4 hard 8. Square pair, new point is 8. 8 came hard. And we have a 1, 4, 5, no field 5. So two things I need to concentrate on is those fingertips again today, and I'm also feeling a lot of pressure on my knuckles on the table, so I need to start minimizing that as well a little bit. And we have a 3, 6, 9 center field 9. And we were hitting a ton of those in the beginning of today. In fact, that's the 15th one that we've thrown today out of 91 rolls. That's a pretty significant number. And we have a 3, 2, 5. No field 5 again. And magic aces. Thrown a couple of those today. The midnight was a little bit more prominent in the beginning now. So that's the second one that we've thrown today. And 2, 5, 7. So that is a 7 out. And we're going to call it right there, guys, today. That's close enough to 100 for me. Let's go through our results that we've had so far today. We had some decent roars in the beginning there. We had a 22, a 20, a 19, a 9, and then a bunch of average, just small ones, rolls and that. So they kind of all averaged out, but in my opinion, those big rolls, we would have actually made some decent money off of it. When you're at the casino, you hit those rolls, and then it's time to get off the table when you make that profit. But hey guys, thanks for joining along today on the journey. Also remember that I open up memberships to the Crapsmaster Journey YouTube channel. Check those out if you're interested at all. But hey, my name is Joe, and this is my Crapsmaster Dice Shooting Journey.